Hello, everyone. Welcome back to A1 English Podcast, the show where we make real English feel simple, friendly, and totally doable.
I'm Jessica.
And I'm Jack. And honestly, today's episode might be one of the most important ones we've ever recorded.
It really is. Before we dive in, quick reminder, if you're serious about improving your English, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel.
Yes, because subscribing isn't just supporting us, it's supporting your own growth. Every episode you watch is one more step forward.
Okay, Jack, so let's talk about today's topic. It's called Perfectionism is Killing Your English, Why Mistakes Are Good.
Ooh, that title alone is going to hit a lot of people right in the heart.
It really will, because so many English learners, maybe even you listening right now, are stuck, not because they don't know English, but because they're afraid to speak it.
Afraid of what, though? Let's be honest about it.
Afraid of making a mistake, afraid of sounding silly, afraid that someone will judge them.
And here's the wild part. That fear doesn't come from not knowing English. It comes from wanting to be perfect.
Exactly. And perfectionism, as helpful as it sounds, is actually one of the biggest reasons people never become fluent.
So today, we're going to break this down completely. Why perfectionism hurts you, why mistakes actually help you learn faster, and how you can start speaking with more confidence starting today.
By the end of this episode, you're going to look at your own mistakes differently. You might even start to enjoy them.
Enjoy mistakes? Now that's a bold promise, Jessica.
I mean it. Once you understand what we're about to share, mistakes stop feeling like failures. They start feeling like proof that you're actually learning.
All right, let's not wait any longer. Let's get into it.
Real English, real talk, real growth. Let's go.
Okay, Jessica, let me ask you something honest. Have you ever felt embarrassed speaking a second language, even when you knew the grammar?
Oh, all the time. I remember learning Spanish years ago, and I knew the rules in my head, but the moment I had to speak, my brain just froze.
That's exactly what happens to millions of English learners every single day, and that's the problem we need to talk about.
So let's define it clearly. Perfectionism in language learning means believing that you must speak correctly every single time, or you shouldn't speak at all.
In simple words, perfectionism means I won't talk unless I'm sure it's 100% correct.
And that sounds responsible, right? Like you're just being careful.
It sounds responsible, but it's actually one of the most damaging habits a learner can have.
Why do people fall into this trap? Usually, it's because school taught them that mistakes equal bad grades.
And also because social media shows us perfect English speakers, so we compare ourselves and feel like we're never good enough.
But here's the truth nobody tells you. Every fluent speaker you admire made thousands, maybe millions of mistakes before they got good.
Thousands? Really?
Really. Babies learning their first language make constant mistakes for years, and nobody laughs at a 2-year-old for saying, I goed to the park, instead of I went to the park.
That's such a good example. We accept mistakes from babies completely, but somehow we punish ourselves as adults for the exact same thing.
Exactly. And that double standard is what's blocking so many learners from speaking freely.
So today, we're not going to teach grammar rules. We're going to teach you a mindset shift. Because once your mindset changes, your English improves faster than you'd expect.
Real growth starts in the mind before it ever shows up in your speaking.
And I think it's worth saying clearly, this isn't about lowering your standards. It's not don't care about grammar or never try to improve.
No, not at all. It's about separating two things that got mixed together in your head, trying your best and needing to be flawless.
Those are completely different things. You can try your absolute best, care deeply about improving, and still make mistakes along the way.
In fact, the people who improve the fastest are usually the ones who make the most mistakes, simply because they're speaking the most.
That's such a simple but powerful idea. More speaking equals more mistakes, equals more learning, equals more fluency.
Meanwhile, the quiet perfectionist, staying silent to protect themselves from embarrassment, often stays at the exact same level for years.
So the goal of today isn't to make you careless, it's to make you brave. All right, let's talk about the first key point. And this one is huge. Mistakes are not the opposite of learning. Mistakes are part of learning.
This is so important, everyone. Please really listen to this one.
When your brain makes a mistake and then gets corrected, it actually creates a stronger memory than if you got it right the first time.
Wait, so mistakes literally help my brain remember better?
Yes, it's called productive failure in learning science. Your brain pays more attention when there's a small shock, like realizing, oh, that wasn't quite right.
That's fascinating. So the fear we have of mistakes is actually working against the exact thing that helps us learn.
Precisely. Let me give you a real example. Imagine you're ordering coffee in an English-speaking country.
Okay, I'm imagining it.
You might say, "Can I get a coffee, please, with milk?" That's a natural, confident sentence.
Perfect. Very natural.
But a perfectionist learner might freeze and think, wait, should I say may I instead of can I? Is with milk correct here? Should I say a coffee with milk or milk coffee?
Oh, I know that feeling. That's exactly what happens in my head sometimes.
And while that person is thinking, the moment passes. They either stay silent or they say nothing at all and just point at the menu.
Which means they lost a real chance to practice speaking.
Exactly. Meanwhile, someone who isn't afraid of mistakes just says, I want coffee, milk please, even if it's not perfectly natural.
And guess what? The barista understands them perfectly.
Exactly. Communication happened. That's the real goal, not perfect grammar.
Let's give another example to really lock this in.
Good idea.
Imagine you're in a job interview and you want to say, I have experience in this field.
A confident speaker says it exactly like that, clearly and directly.
But someone caught in perfectionism might say, I have experience. Sorry, let me say that again.
And notice how that hesitation actually makes them sound less confident, even though their English wasn't that wrong to begin with.
That's the irony of perfectionism. Trying to sound perfect often makes you sound less fluent, not more.
So remember this. Fluency isn't about avoiding mistakes. It's about continuing to speak even when a mistake happens.
Not complicated at all once you see it this way.
Not at all.
Okay, now let's move to the second key point. And this one changes how you should think about correction itself.
Yes, this is a big one.
Making a mistake and getting corrected is actually a gift, not a punishment.
A gift? A lot of learners would disagree with you right there.
I know, but think about it logically. If nobody ever corrects you, you'll keep repeating the same mistake for years.
That's true. I've met learners who've been saying the same wrong sentence for a decade because nobody ever told them.
Exactly. So when someone corrects you, they're actually saving you time. They're helping you fix something faster than you would alone.
Let's make this practical. Imagine you're chatting with a native English speaker friend.
Okay, go on.
You say, I agree with you.
A very common mistake, by the way.
Right. And your friend gently says, oh, we usually just say, I agree with you, without am.
And why does that correction help you? Because now that mistake is fixed, possibly forever.
Exactly. That one small correction could save you from repeating the same error in hundreds of future conversations.
Now, here's a common mistake people make about mistakes themselves.
Oh, let's talk about that. Mistakes about mistakes. That's very meta.
People often think, if I get corrected, it means I'm bad at English.
And the problem with that thought is that it stops people from ever putting themselves in situations where they could improve.
So instead, we should think, If I get corrected, it means I'm actively learning right now.
Much healthier way to see it.
Let's practice this shift together. I'll give you a mistake, and Jack, you tell me the confident way to respond to being corrected.
Okay, I'm ready.
Someone tells you, actually, we don't say informations, we just say information because it's uncountable.
A confident response would be, "Oh, thank you. I didn't know that. I'll remember it." No shame, no apology, just acceptance.
See how simple that is? No drama, no embarrassment, just growth.
Everyone listening, next time someone corrects your English, try saying thank you instead of feeling embarrassed. It completely changes the experience.
Because a correction isn't proof that you're behind, it's proof that you showed up and tried, which most people never even do.
That's such a powerful reframe.
It really is. And once you believe it, speaking English stops feeling scary.
Let's go even deeper, because I think a lot of people don't realize where this fear of correction actually comes from.
Where do you think it comes from, Jack?
Honestly, for a lot of us, it comes from school. Remember getting a test back and the teacher circled every single wrong answer in red pen?
Oh, don't remind me. That red pen felt so personal, like it was judging me, not just my answers.
Exactly. So our brains learned very early that red marks equals shame. And that feeling followed a lot of us into adulthood.
But here's the difference. A real conversation is not a test. Nobody is grading you at a coffee shop or in a work meeting.
There's no red pen in real life. There's just another human being trying to understand you and usually wanting to help.
That's such an important distinction. Once you separate speaking English from being tested on English, everything feels lighter.
Let's give one more example, because I think repetition really helps this sink in.
Good, let's do it.
Imagine you're texting a friend and you write, "I am so exciting for the weekend."
A really common little mix-up. Exciting instead of excited.
Right, and your friend replies, "Haha, I think you mean excited, but yes, me too."
Notice something important there. Your friend didn't stop the conversation. They corrected you gently and kept talking with you.
That's what real corrections usually look like. Quick, kind, and then life continues.
Not a big, dramatic moment at all, just a tiny, helpful nudge in the right direction.
So the fear in our heads is almost always bigger than the reality of what actually happens.
Isn't that true for so many things in life, not just English?
Absolutely. Fear tends to exaggerate the outcome, and reality is usually much kinder than we expect. All right, Jessica, let's talk about the mistakes people make when they're trying to avoid mistakes. Ironic, I know.
Yes, this happens constantly, and it's honestly kind of sad to watch.
Mistake number 1, staying completely silent in conversations because you're scared of saying something wrong.
Oh, I've seen this so many times. Someone knows the answer, knows the vocabulary, but just doesn't say anything.
The correct approach is to speak anyway, even with imperfect grammar, because silence teaches your brain nothing.
Exactly. Silence feels safe, but it's actually the slowest way to improve.
Mistake number 2, apologizing excessively for your accent or your grammar before you even start talking.
This one is so common. People say, "Sorry, my English is bad," before every single sentence.
The fix here is simple. Just speak. You don't need to apologize for learning a language. Nobody expects perfection from a learner.
And honestly, over-apologizing can make listeners more focused on your nerves than on what you're actually saying.
That's such a great point. And the last common mistake, comparing yourself to native speakers or fluent influencers online.
This one hurts confidence the most. People think, "I'll never sound like that person," and give up before they even try.
But here's the truth. Comparing your day 1 to someone else's year 10 is completely unfair to yourself.
The right way to think about it is comparing yourself to who you were last month, not to a stranger on the internet.
Now, if you recognize yourself in any of these mistakes, don't panic.
Seriously, everyone makes these mistakes. Even confident, fluent speakers went through this exact phase.
The important thing is to notice the pattern and slowly start doing the opposite.
Speak instead of staying silent. Skip the apology. Compare yourself to your past self, not to perfection.
Small shifts, but they change everything over time.
Absolutely. And I want to add one more mistake because I see this one constantly online.
Go ahead, what is it?
Mistake number 4, waiting until you feel ready before you start speaking.
Oh, the classic, I'll speak once my English is good enough trap.
Exactly. But here's the secret nobody tells you. You never feel fully ready. Not at the beginner level, not at the intermediate level, and honestly, not even at the advanced level.
I still feel unsure sometimes, and English is my first language.
Exactly. Confidence doesn't arrive before action. Confidence arrives because of action.
So the fix for this one is simple, but not easy. You speak before you feel ready, and the readiness catches up later.
It's like learning to swim. You don't wait until you're a strong swimmer to get in the water. You get in the water, and that's how you become a strong swimmer.
I love that comparison. Nobody becomes fluent by waiting quietly on the side of the pool.
Exactly. So if you've been waiting for the right moment to start speaking English, let this be your sign. The right moment is now, imperfect and all.
Okay, let's put everything together now and make this really practical for you.
Yes, let's build a real scenario using everything we talked about today.
Imagine you're at a networking event and someone asks you, "So, what do you do?"
What would a perfectionist learner do in that moment?
They'd probably think through 5 different grammar options in their head, panic, and give a short, nervous answer, or avoid the conversation completely.
Right. But let's walk through the confident version instead.
First, you just answer naturally. I work in marketing, and I'm learning English to grow my career. Doesn't need to be perfect, it just needs to be clear.
Then, if you make a small mistake, like using the wrong tense, you simply continue. You don't stop the whole conversation to fix it.
And finally, if someone corrects you kindly, you say thank you and move forward with the conversation, not backward into embarrassment.
See how natural that flow feels? That's real English, used by a real person, not a textbook robot.
Now, I want everyone listening to try something right now, wherever you are.
Yes, pause the video if you need to. Say one sentence in English right now, out loud, even if you're alone.
It can be about your day, your goals, anything at all.
And if you made a mistake while saying it, say it again. That's literally how fluency is built.
One sentence at a time, one mistake at a time, one correction at a time.
That's the real journey to fluency, and it's a journey every single fluent speaker has walked before you.
Let's do one more scenario together, because I think the more examples you hear, the more this idea sticks.
Good idea. Let's imagine a different situation this time.
Picture this. You're traveling and you're lost, and you need to ask a stranger for directions.
A very real, very common situation for English learners.
A perfectionist learner might think, how do I politely phrase this question? Should I say, excuse me, or sorry to bother you? What if my accent is too strong?
And while all of that thinking happens, the stranger just keeps walking and the moment is gone.
Exactly. But a confident learner just says, excuse me, where is the train station? Short, simple, clear.
And it works. The stranger understands, points in a direction, maybe even smiles and helps further.
That's the power of imperfect but immediate communication. It gets results, while perfect but delayed communication often gets nothing.
I love that phrase, imperfect but immediate. That should be a motto for every English learner.
It really should be. Write that down if you're taking notes.
Imperfect but immediate beats perfect but never.
Beautifully said. And that's really the heart of everything we've talked about today. All right, let's quickly review everything we covered in today's episode.
First, we talked about how perfectionism isn't caution. It's actually a barrier that stops you from practicing.
Then we explained how mistakes create stronger memory in your brain, which means mistakes actually help you learn faster, not slower.
We also covered common mistakes people make while trying to avoid mistakes, like staying silent, over-apologizing, and comparing themselves to others.
And most importantly, we practiced how to respond to corrections with confidence instead of embarrassment.
Remember, you don't need to be a perfect English speaker.
You just need to be a consistent one.
English is a tool for connection, not a test you need to pass.
So speak, make mistakes, get corrected, and keep going.
That's the whole journey, and honestly, it's a beautiful one.
And here's one final thought before we go. Every fluent speaker you've ever admired was once exactly where you are right now.
They were nervous, they mispronounced words, they forgot grammar rules in the middle of sentences.
The only real difference between them and where you are today is time and the willingness to keep speaking through the discomfort.
So be patient with yourself. Growth in a language is rarely a straight line. It's more like a winding path with a few bumps along the way.
And every bump, every mistake, every awkward pause, that's not failure. That's simply proof that you're on the path.
If this episode helped you see mistakes differently, please hit the like button. It truly helps this channel grow.
And if you want more honest, real conversations like this one, subscribe to A1 English Podcast.
We upload new episodes regularly to help you build real confidence in real English.
Thank you so much for spending this time with us today.
Keep practicing, keep speaking, and keep being kind to yourself.
Bye, everyone.
See you in the next episode.